Hi everybody, it's December 7th, 2025. Some things in our life are wrapped up, and sometimes the wrapping doesn't denote what's inside. And this situation may look like maybe maybe a job after a long period of unemployment. It's going to come wrapped up in dollar bills, wrapped up in peace of mind, wrapped up in housing stability. It's going to become wrapped up in this gleaming, promising wrap. And sometimes what's inside of a situation like that is hard work, struggle, having to adjust yourself for other people, having to adjust yourself for the energy levels that are required of you. So sometimes things that come wrapped in the best wrappings require the most work. And this is why it is good to be patient when you are embarking on things that are coming into your life. Yes, it's good to get excited about a change for the better. It's good to be weary of greater responsibility, but this is all just to say, just don't get too wrapped up in the outer appearance of new situations or situations that are already in your life. And this brings me to think of the addiction to the holy. And by this I mean, for example, when something in your life comes together and it fits in your life and it does what it's supposed to do in your life and it feels like it's flush, like when you're putting something together and it sets in perfectly aligned with your needs, with your wants, with your life situation, when it enters your life and it's flush, it's so satisfying, it's so life affirming, and it's so needed at that time. And so you're gonna feel the high of good fortune. You're gonna feel the high of favor from God. And what could happen is, as you go along and the weeks go by behind you of this holy occurrence, you're gonna look for that feeling in other areas of your life that are very chunky and very uneven and are very painful. And those situations may not go flush for a long period of time. So you lose that high that you had at that initial gratification, and you start to forget that your life is good because those other areas of your life aren't falling flush. And the problem with that ideology that just because you had something good happen to you doesn't mean anything because the other parts of your life are harder. The downside, the fallacy of that argument is that when things go flush, we forget about them. We forget about how much trouble that juncture of jagged energy being taken care of, we forgot how much it took to get there. We forgot how much the grace that we got at that moment. And so when you notice that other things aren't flush, you just have to remember that what you went through was a holy gift, a holy occurrence. And just because the other parts of your life are jagged does not mean that you aren't blessed. They are jagged for a reason. They are jagged for teaching. They are jagged for building strength, for building tolerance. And they will fall flush when it's their time too. Because once you elevate, you leave those parts behind and they automatically go flush and are forgotten in your memory. So another addiction to the holy is when you end loneliness. When you end loneliness by having a relationship of any kind with another person, that high that you get off that initial acceptance, that initial incoming discourse between two souls, that high that you get from getting rid of loneliness may get daunted or diluted by problems with that new relationship. And this is just natural occurrences between people. People are naturally uncongruent or non-congruent at certain junctures of intercommunication. Like, there's going to be some discrepancies, and sometimes people's feelings are going to get in the way, and you're going to forget the high that you had of getting rid of loneliness, and your blessing is going to start to feel like a curse if you don't watch it and realize that these disagreements happen. So the remedy for that is just to realize that relationships pay out when you conquer these discrepancies. Relationships make sense when you overcome miscommunication, when you overcome hurt feelings, when you overcome betrayal. Relationships, the true magic isn't the end of loneliness, it's the building up and strengthening of relationships. And this is what happens when you get addicted to holy without having substance, or without having patience and understanding in your soul and your mind. Because the gifts of the holy, you get addicted to them and you lose the meaning if you don't regard them with a spiritual eye. And so another addiction to holiness that could go wrong is revelation. When you receive a revelation of your personal life or your personal situation, and it makes sense, it's going to seem like there's only one way to go, and that's back down, because you have been lifted so high. Your existence has part of your existence now makes complete and total sense, and you have reached an apex. So it feels like the only place to go from there is down, because you're going to have to live your life, and it's going to look like the same struggle you had before the revelation, but it's not exactly if you look closely. But there's only one way to go, and that you feel, and that's down. And you're going to wonder, what is the point to have a revelation? What's the point of having truth revealed in your life if you can't exceed past the sky? And the way to deal with that is that some people will say life is just a bunch of ups and downs, and that's kind of a cogent assessment in a zoomed out way. But the level that you are at, your soul automatically adjusts to it. You could elevate very greatly in a matter of days, and your soul will adjust immediately, because the spiritual technology of your soul is so fast and so advanced that it gets used to elevation very quickly, but you don't. Your human mind doesn't, your human emotions don't. So it takes you a while to catch up with the elevation that your soul came up with. So you have to realize that once you're elevated by revelation, you're at a new plane, and you have more work to do, and you have more wisdom and more peace to come into. So this is partly the mindset you have to have when you are dealing with holy addiction. I hope this helps. Thanks.